You go.
Good evening, beautiful ladies. How are you?
Hey,
All
girl.
right.
Yes.
Good
Well,
morning, experience family. I'm sure everybody's full. Y'all are somewhere rubbing your belly, drinking some Pepto, or just chilling, whichever works for you. Happy belated Thanksgiving. I hope everyone got some time to rest, relax, and spend time with their loved ones and their family, if it's not the same. And if they're not in the same category. But just in case y'all forgot who we are, I'm your girl, Black Pearl. Let me see. To my right is Miscommunication.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Right here to me is Coach Tay. Hey, girl.
Hey, y'all, hey.
And last and definitely not least is the Doc Royal Rain.
good evening.
Good evening. How was everyone's Thanksgiving?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Did anybody cook?
A little something.
I did a little something too. I didn't do a lot, but I did a little, just like that. Not a little something, little, just a little.
Slice.
Right.
Mhm.
But did you guys overall get to rest and enjoy your any? No. What happened, Miscommunication?
I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to the Saturday, Sunday, because I think Saturday, Sunday, I think I'm gonna get some kind of rest. I'm going to the Reggae Fest at the Barclays tomorrow, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about, be outside, and then I'll probably recoup on Sunday and just kind of like chill out. But the day it used to be five. I had 5 days off, and it didn't feel like it. So let's see what happens. See what happens.
Let me answer Jeff. Jeff, we are live. Maybe I'm stuck in the morning.
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
I'm
You
stuck in
did
the
say
morning.
morning. I wanted to correct.
My bad. Jeff. I still
It's
got
morning somewhere, sir.
I still
Respectfully,
got
but
turkey brain. I'm sorry, Jeff.
Look, and I do too, because I didn't even hear you say it. So
I didn't even
I
know
was
I
there,
said
but I
it.
was like, it's morning somewhere, so it's okay.
So shout out to Jeff for checking
Yeah.
me. Good
Thanks,
evening,
Thanks, Jeff.
experienced people. Yeah.
It's
But
been
yeah,
that.
we are definitely live. In my world, actually in everyone here's world, it's 9:04 Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, absolutely. So today or this evening, the title is really straight to the point, and we're gonna get it. We're gonna dive right in. I don't have any more small talk besides Thanksgiving. And it's exactly what it says. Modern day dating. Are we for real? Is this really what we're doing? Or are we in the land of make believe? What's going on? So many of us, and I'm gonna just kind of give you this little intro, and please share because everyone's experience is different, right? Um, each of us are in different areas of our life, but some of us, I guess three of us, have had more dating recently than others. And we're all at different parts of dating in our lives. So we'd love to hear your opinion. So I'm gonna start off with miscommunication.
Why you was okay?
Why?
I was like, it's not what me for. But anyway, I'll go there. Let's go. let's get it.
So let's start off. Let's start off slow. What is your dating status? Are you dating?
I am not dating right now.
You're not dating, and is it because how you see dating or is part of it? Because I'm sure it's not all of it.
I decided at the present time, dating is not really where I am in my life right now. Just if the natural course of things leads me to a person, I think I'll take that course. But me actively dating, yeah, I'm good. No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay, we're gonna come back to that. Tay, we're gonna come back to that.
That's funny. Hey,
What's
y'all.
your dating status, Tay?
Listen, I am actively dating.
We could keep it right like that.
The roll of the eyes, yes.
She said that with a
Okay, and then we've said multiple times on the show before that the doc has been married for some
Forever.
time.
A
Forever.
million years. No.
Forever.
For some time. But I definitely know that Doc has heard plenty of dating stories from her friends who haven't been married for a
Yeah.
long time.
And they tickle me.
Right. So I guess because I'm not married, I could still say I'm actively dating, but one person. Because you're single till you're married. No? That's
Well, I guess I could still be dating my husband.
boom.
People be dating and they married. So
Come back to you, baby.
people literally be married and still dating. So I don't know,
As
it's
we
like,
should.
Dating each other.
Correct.
or
Okay.
not dating each other, dating other people. Like they're like people out here.
I got you. Yeah, but that's a whole different rabbit hole. that
Right.
we're
I'm
not
like,
gonna
you
go
go
down.
saying,
Yes,
I mean,
you're
like-
right. No, but
All
you're
right.
right.
So,
We're an inclusive show, so we're including all.
Okay.
all
We're inclusive. So,
Right.
for the record, I have a variety of friends, and the issues that I hear with dating are not just for heterosexual people. I've heard the same issues with those who have a variety of date. I mean, I'm not going to name all of them, but you get what I'm saying.
Mhm.
So I wanted to share that. So, what is your? Let's start off here, right? What is your main avenue to get out into the dating pool?
And before we jump in, ladies, Jeff, if you or any of the other bros out there, if y'all not like necessarily D9 bros, but if any of the other bros out there, y'all chime on in because we want to hear from y'all too. So continue. I'm sorry, because this is gonna get good when we hear from the brothers. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
wait till they unpack. Go ahead. What was? Because so you're not actively, but you were, right?
Yeah.
So what's your dating avenue? What avenue did you?
I wasn't really outside. Like I didn't go out a lot. So, it was mostly like either friends or it was online dating, right?
Wait, pause. When you say friends, meaning other people are introducing you, or
Yeah,
just
yeah. Like friends, and I know somebody who, that part.
Okay. Which I think should be good, shouldn't it? Shouldn't your friends know who you are?
Yeah, I mean that didn't happen often. That didn't really happen often, but the online dating thing, if I want to say, like I had one blind date from a friend that lasted 8 years. So there was 8 years, right? And then after that, it was like, here and there dating, maybe somebody I worked with. I had one, dating somebody I was working with. And then in between all of those were always the online people or, mutual friends, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm good.
Can I ask
Oh my God. Good.
I got a question. Because we ain't going to speed past this whole 8-year thing. Because, I'm just saying.
Right. Go ahead.
So, with the 8-year relationship,
Mhm.
did you both recognize you were going in different directions?
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Okay.
So essentially, it was like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole.
Okay.
But because it kind of like, and it didn't start off like that, but as we got to know each other a little bit more, it's that thing where, you have that yin and yang, and usually yin and yang works well, but it was like, we were on such opposite ends.
Ooh, can I ask the question as only I could ask?
I'm
Can I ask
listening.
the question? What kept you longer, the sex?
I don't think it was even,
It's a real question.
No, it's a real question. I don't think it was really the sex that kept us together. I think that was a sliver of what was, what we agreed upon. But there was this thing about, we really actually cared about each other.
Right.
There was a real mutual respect, with each other.
So y'all rolled into friendship almost, like just platonic? Well,
I wouldn't even call it platonic. I would call it like, there was a time when, during that time I was getting older and so was he. He wanted kids, but by the time that actually became
gotcha.
Like it was like we started off and we were like, we were 8 years, so it was like, you were a lot younger, and as time rolled on, it just felt like if I had a kid with him, because that's what it would have been, me having a kid with him, because there were certain parts of our relationship that just didn't make any sense, and it was like one of those things where I don't know if anybody, I know y'all know about Hotep men, right?
Who?
Hotep men. So Hoteps are the men who, my sister, my brother, Grand Rising, that kind of energy, that kind of dude, right? my like that. It was that kind of thing going on with him on a regular, where you got the no veganism, and it was just a very interesting thing where I was the opposite of the grand rising sister with the natural hair and I wasn't militant enough for the cause. I wasn't Dr. Sabian enough for the situation.
Okay.
And I was like,
It took 8 years. You know what? I'll come back. So
Come back.
sorry, because I was about to start. Boom, 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 boom.
no, come back, because it's a long story, but that was a long time ago.
So, Coach Tay, how do you dibble and dabble in dating? How do you do that?
Okay, so I have attempted consciously more recently to put myself out there, meaning like be physically out and about, because I like to be home. I do, I'm not gonna lie. But like, so for instance, I will commit to taking myself to happy hour like twice a month, just to maybe sit at a bar and just be open to the universe. Or just go to an event. I do a lot of solo, so I just meet people out and about.
So was your main avenue online, or you're just saying you didn't really touch online? You just went outside?
I mean, I have like entertained people that I felt like would take it seriously, the dating thing, but it's hard because I'm really on social media for my business. So I'm, if you ain't talking about buying nothing or getting a coaching session, like it's not the place for that for me. So yeah, I don't like entertaining that too much.
So I'm gonna be real with y'all. I despise online dating. I despise. And the reason, I'm gonna be real with you, you already have to unpack and understand who a person is face to face, but you have to unpack first who they're presenting to you online, then unpack who they are when you meet them face to face. Or you create this, it's almost like a filter, a Snapchat filter first, of their personality, of their beliefs, because you learn to say the right things. Social media tells you what to say, how to say. They feed you the storyline and you create it. Some people, most people, online. Then when you meet, now it's a whole nother person. Bro, I thought you said you was this thing.
Well,
I didn't mean it like this. I meant it like good.
On top of that, so when you meet people in person, you're already meeting their representative, right? So that's already a thing. So like, I don't want to go to the internet rep and then this rep and then
right. That's what makes me go, what? So most of the stories I hear started with someone who met someone online.
Yeah, I need in person anyway, because I'm a person who feeds off energy. Like I really chemistry is cool, but I really feed off energy. So that's gonna tell me everything I need to know, how you make me
and that
feel.
Might have been my problem too. I'm not like something that you two said, and I see you, Doc. I'm coming, I promise. You see her face, because she might go on and say, well, I met you a different person. But
no, go ahead, I'll wait. Go ahead.
Okay. So I think the difference when I talk, even though I guess I didn't really meet my person online, but that's not the point. I think my thing is, I am not hey, let me go behind the computer. I'm like, let's come out. I'm a social butterfly. Hey, how you doing? And I'm that person. I am a person that maybe I won't come up to you in a bar and be like, yo, what's up? But I will smile if someone says, hey. I can start a conversation with the average person. It doesn't matter what you are. So maybe that's also my issue. But when I did try online dating, I hated it so bad. I hated it so much. It was so convoluted. It was really, really bad. Go ahead, Doc, because I see your face. Your face was talking before I was talking.
Because I'm just asking a question for clarification. So when you're online dating, how long are y'all taking before y'all say, hey, can we meet up in person? That's where I'm getting confused at.
So for me, I can only talk for me.
Okay.
The longest I've gone is a month.
Why you wait so long?
Because I've met people quicker and been in horrible situations because, again, it's a representative.
So the representative went on for a month.
Right.
Right.
Or I met someone after 2 weeks and they try to get me up in the alley or choke me out. It's still like it was. I'm just listen. I got some wild stories. Listen.
No, and I know I sound like that lady from Get Out. No, 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 no.
Or after, and maybe it's just me. This is who I am. After 2 weeks of talking to you, I'm not gonna bend over for you. I'm just not.
I guess why I'm asking this question is if I'm meeting somebody online, I'm not going to allow so much time because a month is too much. I'm not going to allow so much time to pass on before I meet you in person in a public setting.
No, it was a public setting.
And when because I'm criminal minded, very much so. I am. Yeah, that's a whole other show. But I'm very criminal minded. So because of that, I think about possible things that could go wrong.
I'm a New Yorker. That ain't got nothing to do with criminal.
From a protective standpoint. So after like a week of us having a conversation virtually, I need to see you in the daylight. I need to see what you're made of and who you really are.
Well, I think it's also wait, hold on before I respond.
Go ahead.
I missed this. Let's post a comment through the Fire podcast.
Yeah.
Hey,
we ain't seen you in a minute. Hey, bro.
We ain't seen you in a minute. How are you? All right, let's read the comments. Some 1996 gas money. I do have a question, and we'll answer it in a minute, okay? But I do have a question. Why is it always a no-go for Black women when they meet men in places where they can find you? Example, at work, growing your business, church, etc. Give us 1 second. We'll address. Promise. So you said after a week, right?
Yeah, after a week, I need to see you in the daylight.
Right. Okay. So sometimes after a week, you're not sure if it's real or it's not. Maybe we haven't been talking.
That's the whole part of dating. Why are you trying to figure out if something real?
Because people get catfish.
And see, no.
Yeah,
and so this, nope. And see, this is where, ladies, y'all throwing out that net, y'all throwing out that fishing rod, and you're like, oh yeah, this gonna be the one. And then when you pull the fish out and realize it's a mess, you're like, oh hell no, I don't want that. And you throw the
I think it's more like when you're dating online, you open up the field to more than people locally or around the corner. You might open it up to someone in the military. You might it expands, right? You're not meeting nobody in the military after a week. If they're not local.
But you also, so here's the thing. As women, we also have to be very, very careful. So I'm not saying take a week. I'm not saying take a month. I'm saying go off of how that person making you feel. Right. Because here's the thing. Say we do meet up and it is a public place and I don't like it and I leave. And you follow me home.
Right. You just happened.
Go ahead. That's a whole other. That's my criminal mind.
Those are the things I think about. So I'm not gung ho about, oh, well, yeah, let me meet up. That's why I don't even like doing the internet thing at all, period. Right. I want to make sure you're a real person first. You're not a serial killer. Most likely, if I met you if I met you just passing by or whatever the case may be, it's hard to decipher. But at the end of the day, you have to make decisions that make you feel safe.
Well, and I'm gonna say one more thing.
Ain't safe.
I was talking to a guy, and this is a while ago. I was talking to an internet person, and they literally just took all my pictures and all my get to know stuff and created another page to pull people over. We are in a different day and time.
It's not the same. It's not like 10 years ago. It was a little bit different. Right, it literally was. Even 5 years ago, it's just not.
That's the same. I'm like, it's not even 10. You know what I mean? Like, I'm being real with you. Like, why do you think Catfish has been on for over 5 years? Right. This stuff really happens for me after that happened, and it wasn't anything like large. What I did is I ended up getting a message from a guy in Georgia to talk about he gave me $200. I said that I told him I was gonna give it back. I don't know you. I don't know you. I absolutely don't know you. But he was having a conversation with this other person for some time that claimed it was me.
Mm,
I ain't got that money.
interesting.
I didn't get the money, and
No, no,
I'm not
you.
saying this to get pull for compliments. I'm really not like, like I'm being extra, but a Beyonce where it's like, oh, I gotta be. So you really was building with an okey doke average person to look believable. Because sometimes if you have someone who's like overly gorgeous, you're like, okay, then it's a catfish. And it's not because I think I'm ugly. It's in general that's like a telltale. Like this person can't be real. But apparently,
but men are delusional though. You do know that, right?
So
I
Like
think everybody could be delusional.
I
But
don't know, but I really
let's answer the
okay,
question.
answer the question then, based off of the fact that y'all don't, yeah, with the whole online, you got somebody directly in your face, and you
Right.
still
No,
saying, "No, I ain't messing
I
with you."
wouldn't do the work thing. Just
I mean,
that's what
again, it's the same. I
it's
just
my
mentioned it.
bag.
It's the same deal because it's just dangerous for you to know that much about me, for me to, you know what I mean, for us to just like be dating. If we were
Right.
in committed relationship, that's different.
That's
You know,
different. Yeah, I
or if
think work
we're
is not a good place
exclusively
to date.
dating,
Yeah.
that's different. But if I'm just dating you, like it's certain boundaries, and those are my boundaries. You're not coming. You're not gonna know where I work. You're not gonna know where I live. And
Right.
when we do, it is going to be a public place, and I'm going to get
Right.
myself there, and I'm going to get
Right.
myself home.
Well, and as far as church goes, it seems like everybody in church, from my experience, the churches I went to were already married. They're just already.
Ain't too many single people in church. Well, single men, available men in church. Let me say
And
that.
again, that's our experience. So,
Yeah.
there was a part where one of you guys said something about Delulu. People are Delulu. I'm
They
just
are.
saying.
Sorry.
People said that's not what y'all said. People are Delulu.
Yeah, I said it. They really are. Like,
Okay, so why do you make that comment?
what are we talking about? Just in terms of like the stories we tell ourselves, to be honest.
Right. Right.
So I'll start there. But like people really do believe, like, you can make up this whatever story you want to in your brain to feel comfortable with whatever situation. I know because I've done it. I still do it to this day. So it's something that people can do. Like, oh well, that's not crazy, but it is. It's a little Lulu. So it depends on who you're talking to, and then it depends on what we're talking about, like in terms of what said action or said word or event that has happened because of this story that this person is telling themselves.
So, do you think that the issue with dating is you said Delulu. The issue with dating is that we all have unrealistic expectations as we go out into the
we
dating
keep on
world.
saying that. That's not even what it is anymore.
But
No.
go
No,
ahead.
that's not it. It's what
That's
it
not
is.
it.
Is people aren't verbalizing their actual expectations and their boundaries, so that
What
when
if
they're
but then wouldn't it be unrealistic for me to just assume you should already know what I want?
well,
No,
yeah,
that's not it either.
that's the Lulu part. You gotta think about it. People aren't being reasonable, sweetheart. When they're thinking about it, they're just like, oh my god, it makes so much sense to me and no one else. That's Delulu.
That's unrealistic though.
But I think
Delulu.
that it really comes down. What it really boils down to is that people have this desire for something very specific, right?
Yeah. But is it realistic?
That
And
no,
this
at,
is
not
what
not
you
even not even
go.
close half the time. But the
Oh,
point is, anything can be realistic if you get it from the person that you want it from, right? It's not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily make any sense when everybody wants something very specific. And nowadays, people are like, "Oh, it's not going the way I want it. Well, that's it." Nope. Like people don't have time. People don't
So
give things
maybe
time
we
to
just have
breathe.
too many options. We have too many options.
I think that everybody thinks they have more options than they really have.
Because where
I
they at?
think y'all acting like I just didn't say what y'all just saying. When I
No,
said
I didn't act like that. I've been sitting here quiet in the corner.
I'm listening to y'all, and y'all are just regurgitating what I just said. You're throwing a fishing rod out there in the water because you're expecting a big bass to come out based off of what your thoughts are, and then when the fish come up and it's not a bass like what you plan on cooking, you got a little perch. You're like, oh hell no, and you throw it back in the water because you got options.
The options, but I think the point I was trying to get to is a lot of us are fishing for bass, and we're not bass ourselves. That's what
no, I don't. So I disagree with that because that's not what's happening with me. Because I'm not throwing.
No, I mean general.
Jumping back on their own is what's happening with me. Okay, I'm not throwing a damn thing back. All right, except for this. No, I'm saying.
I'm keeping it out.
No, but she's right. It's like what she's trying to say is this. If you're open to relationships, you open to like dating, you're open to these type of things, right? And then you find yourself someone who is so unserious and so absolutely like ridiculous, right? That's where the problem is. The problem is that people are not meeting they're not so much a match.
They're not ready.
They're meeting people who as soon as they get to realize how serious you are, all of a sudden their seriousness turns down because they don't know how to deal with that. It's like, listen, I know how to drive, right? I know how to drive, but I don't know how to drive a Mack truck, right? And I feel as though a lot of these people are getting themselves involved in situations. I don't know. If you say, here are the keys, and I get in the car and I start driving down the road, doesn't mean I'm gonna be able to control that thing. Doesn't mean I'm gonna be able to turn into another lane. Doesn't mean I'm gonna be able to get off. I might get stuck on the highway because I'm on the wrong. It's all of those things. And nowadays people are not really being honest with themselves. So they'll start dealing with you and realizing, oh, wait, this takes a little bit more work than I'm really trying to do right now. This is, I said I wanted a relationship. I said I wanted to be serious, but in actuality, that's not really what I want to do. Or maybe I don't want it with that person. And then that's where the resentment comes. That's where the miscommunication comes. That's where the unrealistic bullcrap happens. That's where, it all these things start happening. And then you find yourself doing this thing again and again and again. Some people, they're not really ready to give up on a situation. They still looking for their person and all them good things like that. And I think that's wonderful for them.
I am ready. I am.
That's good. Those who are ready, shout out to the people who are ready, because the other problem is like, I mean, come on, Black, Pearl, we know people. We know somebody who is we know one guy who's a wonderful guy. He is fantastic. The man has been married 2 times in the last 10 years?
See what I'm saying?
But he's fantastic as a friend. Is he fantastic as a partner?
And here's the thing. I think that everyone the people who I find as though it's not even so much that I find as though sometimes he might be too nice.
Or maybe he has broken pieces from his childhood and he projects. And he
could be that too. I've never been in a relationship with that human being.
I'm saying in general, I don't know. I'm just saying sometimes we have to own our brokenness because we keep projecting our brokenness. And then we keep picking the same kind of people from our brokenness.
Well, I mean, I think people get comfortable with the same type of people over and over again, right?
That's your brokenness.
So, yeah. But there also is that whole idea is like, everybody that, when like I said, somebody told me I was not their type. Remember that? Somebody told me I wasn't their type. And they went and found their type.
Well, that's some
the female. What I'm trying to say is that the type, right? So there's people out there that believe that just because I have a friend who said he wanted a light-skinned crystal. That's what he wanted, a light-skinned crystal.
But this is my thing. You could have been like, "Oh, well, you ain't mine," but we you got to be open to love in all forms in this mother.
Right, and that's the other thing. People want to date the kind of people they want to date.
I think you are
right.
I'm in my lemonade.
No. Just because, and I used to say, just because that's what you want, don't mean that's what's gonna want you.
Well, just because you want it don't mean you need it, and that's what
you deserve it, or you deserve it.
No, wait, right?
Well, you never said you deserve something. Talking about it. Good, Mooga. Who said you deserve anything?
No, people out here believe they deserve something very specific. I deserve A, B, C, and D. It's like, who said that?
Or maybe we're so in love with love and so in love with the honeymoon period, we don't build lasting things. That's something I definitely know. People are in love with the honeymoon period. Like we just bumping and we don't even talk. I didn't even get to know you. Blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden it's like, well, this is so good. Maybe we should do more. And someone goes, wait a minute.
That's because TV. as my mother used to say, TV and all them other things be done made you believe that that's what it's supposed to be.
But that doesn't mean y'all are not Delulu with it, and I don't mean you.
No, I didn't say I'm not Delulu. I'm done. I told you I'm good. I'm not Delulu. I'm good. I'm done.
I think a big part of what you were talking about, Pearl, is like that's why you need to keep your legs closed in the first place, okay? Because here's the thing. Now I know it's gonna be an unpopular opinion, and I don't care.
Go
But
ahead.
if you
I might agree.
that person, you know what I mean? If you just get to know that person, you might not really like them. Like,
listen, let me give y'all a public service announcement. Let me give you a public service announcement. When they touch that middle piece, you do become a little Delulu, especially if it's
Delulu, baby. I'm telling you, it's I'm gonna name it something different. Dick Lulu. Okay, Dick Lulu. All right.
Well,
here's the thing. If you just keep yourself out of that,
people like the other thing, Lulu, too. I'm just saying, wait a minute.
And then of course you listen. I ain't saying never, right? I'm just saying if you just wait, if you just wait a little longer,
right.
Like that, I promise you that'll make all the difference. Okay.
Yeah, but people don't. It's look. Oh God.
It's like,
there's a mentality. There's a mentality like, oh, and hopefully no one under 18 is watching this. Oh, I got. Okay, I say it this way. I got the WAP. I got the best. That thing gets. It's a dime a dozen. People are getting it surgically put on and removed. It's really not that serious. It's not lasting. It's super important, but it's not lasting. I'm just being honest. What are we gonna be 70 swinging on each other? I mean, come on.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Wait, not for it to carry your relationship from one part to the next.
I'm not dating now, but who knows what's gonna happen in a couple of years? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying it's not important. What I'm saying to you is it's not carrying your relationship.
Right,
it's a part of what you're building, not what you're building, period. That's what I'm saying.
You shouldn't start off that way because
that's what I'm saying.
You don't know where it's going.
70, if it's at 70, are you really gonna be like, well, what? How did y'all make it 40 years? Because we always fucking
nobody says that. No one says that.
There are some people that say that.
Well, I mean, if you go to certain,
we ain't building forever.
There are some grandparents.
No, I'm not saying. Wait. We still need to be
grandparents, should I say? Because
right. No,
there are some great grandparents that when they got together. It was kind of like a Mr. and a Miss and a Miss Seeley situation. They really didn't like each other, but they had to stay together, and then they
built something. I'm saying you can't build it on that alone. I would like to be swinging
not
too.
Not no more.
I mean, that's one of the ingredients, but it's not the whole.
Right.
That's
what I'm saying. It's an ingredient.
It's an important ingredient in the recipe, but it's not the entire recipe.
Thanksgiving dinner, okay? It's a dish on the table. Right. It is. I agree. You want to know why? Because they ain't keep their legs closed, sir. If you just keep your legs closed, the price will go back up. I'm just saying. But
I also feel as though it's also. I think it's also the idea that because there are some people who are saturating the market with the foolishness.
That's what makes your whole point, like of the I got this, that it don't matter, baby, because they come a dime a dozen. All right, he can.
It might be a nickel.
Anyway. Come right back home to you and cuddle you to sleep. Okay.
So do we think that deception is higher in dating than what it used to be? I mean,
I'd say so, because we're deceiving other people, but we're deceiving ourselves first, because it starts with you.
Exactly.
Okay. But I got you. Doc, I know you got stuff going through your mind, so I'm listening.
Y'all a hot mess. I'm just here for the kicks and the giggles.
Listen,
y'all
in this one over here, because I'm done. I told y'all, I keep on telling y'all, I will say it over and over and over again. It's the first of all, like I said, I think I've said this several shows before. The person that I am right now is not a good person to date. She's not prepared. She's not qualified to date at this point. I'm not qualified to date because I am in a stage where I am busy taking care of myself. And I don't want to be in a situation where I have to be, actually caring about someone else's feelings and things of that nature. That's not my thing right now. Because I can barely take care of my own feelings right now. So that's just me right now. And I'm being honest. So it's not going to be one of those things where a person can say, oh, well, you're neglecting me, or you're not paying attention to me, or you don't have any time for me. I don't. I don't have time. I don't have any of those things. So I don't have any of those things to give in a relationship, which I think that if I am in a relationship with someone, those are the things that I would like to give. I would like to give you time and energy, and I don't have that right now. So I'm not involved in that right now.
Okay.
That's just me being responsible.
I got a question.
Wait. I think Tay was about to say something. That's what I was like.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was just wondering how long you were planning to be in that
Until
space.
I'm ready.
And I only ask because I said that over a decade ago, and then I've been single ever since. Okay, so I'm just saying, be careful, girl.
Oh no, it's not. I'm not seeing, and that's the part. I'm not delusional right now.
No. I
You know what I
understand.
mean?
It's that self-aware. Like, don't get me wrong. I love that, and other people should be, right? I think it starts there. But also, like, it could be a very comfortable space that you get into that you don't want to open yourself back up. So I'm just saying, like, be careful with the amount of time that you take, because, I know that you want to make sure you're ready to receive it. But you do want to also be in a place, a receptive place, but a place of giving as well. Like, and
Yeah, I'm not usually a person that says that. Like what I just said about me not being able to do so, I used to be able to do so with no problem, right? And I was never getting the amount that I was giving in return, and that was my fault because I allowed it for such a long time. Right now, I'm sitting in a space where I don't have. I'm up at 4:00 in the morning every morning, and I work 5 days a week, and I'm up at 4, and I get back in the house after 7:00 sometimes. I don't have time. I barely have time to take a shower and get ready for work. So no, I don't want to put somebody else and add that person into that type of energy. I don't want that. And I don't feel as though it wouldn't be fair to them. It definitely wouldn't be fair to me. So I'm not interested in doing that right now. That's really why I'm not dating. It has nothing to do with anything else. It really has to do with the fact that if I met a man that I wouldn't be able to nurture a relationship the way I would want to. So I'm not going to do that. That's just me in general.
Wait. Doc had a question. Hold on. Go ahead, Doc. What's your question?
First question.
First.
No, because I'm listening. Like, this just popped in. First question is, I'm hearing, I don't have time to date, and that's fine. But I stand on and strongly believe that people make time for what they want to make time for.
Right. You in my head.
I'm not gonna make time for that.
I'm just talking.
Yeah. I'm not
What
making
I'm
time.
saying is there are situations where we make time for who we want to make time for and what we want to make time for.
Yeah.
So with that being said, my thought on that, and it's more of a question of, and for you, miscommunication, it sounds like it's an intentional, this is what I'm choosing to do. But I'm asking a generalized question about the fact of women, and the panelists today may not be able to even answer that question because you're not in that place. But there are women who do say, I'm not dating because I don't have time. But again, you have time to do, and especially women that are our age.
That's a joke.
Okay,
That's a joke.
especially women in our age group. Okay, women in our age group. At this point, many of us are empty nesters or about to be empty nesters. Like, we don't necessarily have like little kids in the house. So you kind of have some flexibility if you really want it to be flexible. Now, the other thing is, when we talk about not being, when we talk about dating, I wonder how many people are saying I'm not dating, but you are still, and I'm going to say the word, you're still effing. You're effing around.
Right. Or
Now,
you're not addressing whatever your issues are.
no, I ain't even worried about your issues, because your
Listen.
issue is that you want somebody to scratch your cootie. But what I'm
Right.
trying to say,
But miscommunication said she kept giving and not reciprocating. So she didn't know boundaries.
Well,
Is she addressing the
anything
fact
about
that she
that.
doesn't know boundaries? Because when she
No,
popped back in, she gonna have the same problem.
no.
No, actually, that's not true. So let's wait. Hold tight. Pause. 2 seconds.
Because that ain't where I was going with this. But
I know
go
that's
ahead.
not where you were going with it.
That ain't what I'm saying.
I'm saying this. I'll say this.
Coochie scratching. Go ahead.
I'll say this. What I'm saying is that I specifically, I never took time to cultivate a relationship with myself. I never took time to cultivate a relationship with my career. I never took time to I never took myself out on trips. I never took myself out on dates. I can do all of those things now. And I want to do those things for myself right now.
Excuse me.
It has nothing to do with, oh, well, I don't want love and I don't want, it's not that. It truly isn't that. See, me not wanting to be in a relationship has nothing to do with someone else. It has something to do with me.
Right, I got you.
Okay.
That's why I said my questions may not even be for the panelists here. That's why I'm saying it, speaking it in general terms. So my first question was my first question in reference to just understanding the whole I don't have time. Okay. Now, the other question, and I just say it directly when I spoke to taking care of an itch that needed to be scratched, are single people getting and using synonymously the term dating with beat that up real quick. Are we using these terms synonymously? No, but I'm just asking, because I'm just asking a question. And
but I think normally, yes, I would say no, usually people do, but in in miscommunication and I's experiences, no. Okay. Right, but I think normally people do, and I think that's where the issue lies, because
that's where the issue lies, because
that's not what we're doing. Y'all just say what it is, right? Just we effing around, or we just that I'm just or whatever the case may be. Because you putting a real bad taste in dating in my mouth. It's already bad, right?
But that's what I was saying before.
That's what the expectation is too. And these guys are really, they feel entitled, like they think they supposed to. I'm like, well, sir, my body, my choice, nigga. All right. So no. But it's real expectant out here. So
this is why I said before, this is why people start getting some, and then there's expectations that are not realistic.
Oh, well, it's been so long. Oh, okay, it's gonna keep me along, sir. Okay, the fuck? Like, it's crazy. Yeah, get me out.
It's different out here. It's not the same as it was back in the day. It's not the same as it was when my parents would go, were together. You don't meet people the way you normally meet people. It's not like that. Everybody's talking about what a high quality person they are and why they should be this and why they deserve that. And listen, that's fine. And that for somebody, that is great, right? For someone who is like really and truly, I'm a woman of a certain age. I'm already at a stage where I'm like, you know what? I did all the things. I'm good. I'm going to just take care of myself right now, and not because I would love to have someone to say, oh, that's my man. But that would be a name only right now. Because I'm busy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm busy. I know that. I know how I am when I'm in a relationship, and I know that right now this is not relationship mode. Miscommunication. I'm not in relationship mode right now, and it would not be fair to them, and it wouldn't be fair to me. So I'm gonna leave it the way it is, because it would just be better that way.
So is someone really high quality if they have to tell you they're high quality?
Absolutely not. No.
We are in a world of a lot of words and very little action to back it up.
Because what is the quality that you're saying is high? What part is high? What?
Like if you're tall, I can see that you're tall. So you don't need to see that you're tall, right? And I don't have to say I'm short. People see I'm short. So it's just it's one of those things. I just feel like if you're a high value person or whatever the case may be, then you live your life like that, and people see through your actions, not what you say.
So I have a confirmation,
right?
But go ahead, Boo. I'm sorry.
No, I was about to say that I literally was gonna say what you said. Okay, so here's a random. Um, Doc said, "Hey, we're at an age where we're empty nesters, or we have older kids, or we just don't have any kids. Do you see yourself putting the net out, pulling someone back who has children under 18, under 10?" I'm just saying.
What is going on?
What do you mean, like putting the net out?
Because the thing is,
like widening.
Does that make sense? What I'm saying? Yeah.
No, I mean,
It sure does.
Because here's the thing: people want a man that's put together and has a good career. Well, what if he took all his time putting together the career and stuff, and then later in life he decided to have a child? He's not going to have a child that's 18.
And I'm gonna take it a step further.
Or a woman.
And I'm gonna piggyback off of what you just said and take it a step further. Because as women, many of us are nurturers, and we just want to make a house a home. And so when you, baby, and so because of the fact that you got a child that need a mother.
Ain't nobody need no mother.
No.
I see what you're saying, but I'm speaking for myself.
Out here that need to be needed.
And so, okay.
Go ahead, Pearl. You got it.
Yeah. No, it would be hypocritical of me. I don't have no kids, and I focused on my career and my education. So that would be hypocritical of me to say, "Oh, well, no, you can't have a child at a certain age." Like, what? I mean,
but there are people who do that. There are women that have 6 kids and 4 different baby daddies, and let you come with a child. I know it's not you. I'm just saying.
There's people. We gotta remember, there's people out there like that.
No, it's like that to me. That makes no sense. That's stupid, or that would be hypocritical.
But that's what dating has turned into. Here are my standards. Here are my standards. You got to meet my standards. Don't worry about what I got. You better come to me correct. I'm a woman.
I mean, you should have standards. Don't get me wrong. Like, don't have standards. Don't get me wrong. But like, I just feel like unrealistic expectations and standards are not the same thing. I just feel like people need to be a little bit more conscious of the things that, you bring to the table and the things that you don't. You know what I mean? Like, you need to be aware of your situation more so before you go into something else. Because what if somebody doesn't want somebody with kids?
I'm 1,000%. I'm just saying,
man, what if he wants to start his legacy with someone, and then you got 2 and 3 already? So it just depends. Like, sometimes it's hard for other women. So and then some men are looking for women with kids, and I don't fit the bill. You know what I mean? So it just depends on what they're looking for in their life, and you just have to kind of make sure that whatever you want and they want are meshing. That's a part of dating, to see if y'all lives are going to potentially fit together. Because why we dating if we not dating to get married?
So, and Coach, I'm gonna tell you what I heard you say made me again think about the concept of, just like we talked about, hit it and quit it, and dating being used synonymously in the dating world now. Are we also saying that potentially that we are again using expectations and standards synonymously?
Yes.
Are we interchanging these terminology as well? And also, correct. Put that back up. It said, he said, no man is looking for a woman. Listen, so ideally, listen.
Yeah, no man, sir.
No, so real talk. So earlier, Coach, you made the comment.
You're not.
Coach, you made the comment about a woman, or was it Pearl? But it made a comment about having 6 kids by 4 different men, and then they want this one man to come in and be the father. There are women, yes, indeed, who are older women with younger kids because of whatever reason they chose to wait later. And yes, ma'am, they are expecting. And I did use the word expecting whoever they are dating to take on being the father and the father role for these children and the provider for this family that's already created.
This is so messy. It's just messy.
And so for that reason, that's why a lot of brothers are like, nope, nope, because when they get into it and they may be vibing with this chick, but when they realize the setup, for lack of a nice way of putting it, when they realize what the setup is, not SET up, like true setup, like game. When they realize what the game is, they're like, oh no, I'm out. No,
But you realize there's a lot of, see, the funny thing about it is there's a lot of men out here who are dealing with women who are not, something is wrong. Like I don't know how else to say it. I don't know how else to put it. But there are women out here that are like literally playing a game, as there are men who are playing a game. And the game players are making it very difficult for the people who are not in it to play games to find somebody who is be a person, because this person that the man that you just met just dealt with a woman who was playing a game, and the woman that you just met was dealing with a man that was playing. So it's like everybody gets jaded, everybody gets weirded out, everybody's just acting like a bunch of clowns in a circus. It's just weird out here.
I agree. I think it goes with a little bit what Tay said before, is like understanding yourself, right, and what's happening. But I think the other thing too is when you've been single for a long time. Sometimes it's harder for you to mesh,
absolutely,
and be flexible. So
absolutely.
I don't care if it's 2002, 2022, 2024. The core of a man still wants to be a man. And when we as women can't turn that off, the meshing makes it more difficult. And other way around, I'm not saying, I'm just,
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
A man don't want a mother. He got a mother.
No,
a man doesn't want a boss. He got a boss. He wants a form. It don't have to be submit, like, hey, I'm rubbing your feet, but I want you to make me feel like a man. But if you always tell me, well, you doing this and you doing that, and the last guy did this, and let me,
But that's the sad part, because a lot of the stuff that we're saying, a lot of the things that we're talking about, I think that a lot of it is miscommunication. I guess I mean, I'm sorry that's the name, but
you keep saying
it's the truth, because I feel as though there's so many people who say, like, even with these, even with this show that we do, we talk about a lot of things in generalizations, because we can't talk about everybody, because we don't know everybody on the planet. There's going to be a lot of generalization, right? And I feel as though in general, lately, in a certain generation of daters, there's a lot of like this thing where you have women out here who have been alone for a long time. Like I've been, you've been alone for a long time, so you get set in your ways, right? And the man gets set in his ways as well, and they want for something very specific from the person that they potentially can be with, and vice versa. And that's where the problem happens, I think, because what happens is, if that person doesn't fit these certain qualifications, these certain
check boxes, like
they don't hit these boxes, that person is not your person. Whereas you might want to see things a little bit differently and actually say to yourself, well, you know what? I'm not saying lower your standards, but I'm saying it's
pivot
not
a little. Pivot.
We're not a person is not a car. You can't go into it and this, how you have you go to the car dealership and you pick all little, people are not like that. People are not going to be, you want a woman that's 5'7", 5'5", 3, 120 pounds with a thin waist and a small. That's not necessary. But do you want somebody who's good to you? Do you want somebody who's nice to you? Do you want somebody who respects you? Do you want somebody who's intelligent emotionally as well as,
physical attributes? Or are we talking about people in general, like characteristics, value systems? Like, are we talking
like
about?
I'm saying that nowadays people are not looking at people as like actual people. They're looking
I know what you're saying, but I'm saying you named two different things. So are we talking about the physical aspects, or are we talking about like their characteristics or who they are as a person, their personality traits?
I think that a lot of times people are taking the physicality and the person, even if they take physicality and personality and put it together, I think a lot of times people are taking those aspects, and that is what they're not going to yield on those things. So these are the things I want, and I'm not going to take anything less than these things, and that's fine, that's great. But you know what, you're going to find you might find it harder to fill that order, because people are not monolithic. People are not all the same. You're going to find somebody who's not, okay, you want somebody who's 5'5", guess what? She's 5'8". Is she no longer your person? You know what I'm saying? Maybe she didn't go finish, get her master's. Maybe she only has her bachelor's, or she didn't, but so she's not your person anymore. You know what I mean? Maybe she has 2 kids, and she had 2 kids by somebody she was married to and she loved. And guess what? He got hit by a car and now he's dead. And she's is she now not a good qualified person because she had 2 kids with somebody? Like, it's all of those things.
Do you think that we get so committed to our expectations that we just basically set?
Yeah, you might miss out on a person that you're supposed to be with because we're so tied to these things that we want on a checklist, as opposed to actually meeting a person and actually learning how to love the person that they are. You love the person that you made up in your mind that may not even exist, and you're so busy you'll miss out on the person that's standing right in front of you that might not have all of these things that you want, but might have all the things that you need. Stop doing that to yourselves, because a lot of people are doing that right now. There are men out here like, oh, I want a girl with a big old butt. Okay, guess what? She's gorgeous, she's smart, she's intelligent, she has integrity, she's all these things, and she happens to have no ass. Now what?
There are women doing the same thing.
And that's what I'm only giving you from one end, but it's the same thing women are doing. It absolutely. It's the same thing, but that's the thing. Human nature now is so busy worrying about the checklist and not worrying about checking themselves and actually seeing the kind of person that might be standing right in front of them.
So I have a question. So let's say that you're never in a relationship with someone and you're alone. Are you okay with that? If you would never do,
yeah, I think I'll be all right.
I'm just some people are not.
No, some people are not. Loneliness will definitely. There's this between being alone and being lonely, right?
Right, alone is what I'm saying.
Alone, I believe we're not meant to be alone. Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm okay. I'm happy, but like, I do ultimately think I'm supposed to be with the person, and I'm better as a pair. I know I am, because I believe in teamwork. But no, I think that we should seek to have a partner. Now, it might not look like miscommunication would say, it might not look like that ideal or whatever you put on your vision board. It might not look exactly like it, but I feel like, physically, I mean, but as long as that person has integrity and makes you safe, or makes you feel loved, I feel like that's really it. So yeah, go start there and really vet people for who they really are, not the potential you see or the fantasy you make up in your head.
But you know what, like Benin Warriors said, they might, if they're ugly, then they might have to miss out. But what's worse than having a pretty face and an ugly spirit? I don't know. You have a handsome man. Handsome as all hell, and he just ugly on the inside.
Niggas is getting played. I don't care. And now, you want to know how I know? Because I'm giving it to him. So I don't want to hear that. Oh, ugly niggas are getting. Nah, ugly niggas is getting played. Y'all fucking up too. So yeah, y'all fucking up a good thing, and y'all ain't got no room to fuck up. But y'all the main ones fucking up. But it's okay. It's okay. It's all right.
I can't believe
because they be like, oh, ugly niggas don't get no play, but they do. Stop lying. You're lying because they funny. They funny and they sweet and they nice, right? Nice guys finish last. I don't want to hear that bullshit. They is getting girls. Okay, they getting them. You want to know how?
Well, Biggie said it. He said black and ugly as ever. However, right? He said, however, I know what I am, but I'm still getting it.
Getting bitches. I don't care.
He said, still getting it.
They are.
Later.
They really are, sir. But not to say he wrong, but I'm just saying.
So, I mean, obviously we got very deep into this conversation and could probably go so much deeper.
Always can go deeper.
And before I ask this question, definitely want to say thanks to the people who are putting in comments, because that definitely helped us as well, like steer this conversation. But if you could name one or two of the biggest barriers in dating now, what would you say they are? If you got more than two, that's fine, but one or two.
You said what's the question again?
One or two. If you could name one or two barriers or the main issues in date, like the two things that are, what would that be?
Go ahead, Coach Tay. That's on you.
Because you don't know.
You don't know.
You gotta
What I
be
don't
what you
know is that
saying.
it just like it doesn't. It's like you know, it doesn't affect me at this point. So it's like
What
Well,
have
okay.
you? Okay.
My experience, I'll say commitment because you know people don't want to commit, and I'll also say like transparency.
Mm.
People don't want to be vulnerable or open and be them, you know, be themselves so that you can vet them properly.
Well, rejection is a fear, right? People have a fear of rejection,
Mhm.
so that would cause them not to be transparent, right? And then the other part is, you know, vulnerability. But people are taught, especially nowadays, that you got to have armor on to protect yourself. So there's always a thing about protecting your sanity, protecting your peace, protecting your space, protecting. It's hard to penetrate someone who is literally got armor on and won't let you in. So there's that part, right? And then actually being honest. So the vulnerability comes with being vulnerable is also a form of honesty because you have to be honest to be vulnerable, right? And if you're walking around saying things like people say, never once did I ever say in this conversation that I don't need anybody, I don't need a man, I never said that because that'd be dishonest. What I'm saying, you know, what I've said, and I will repeatedly say that I'm not in a position where that would be a good place, right? So that's where the honesty comes from, and that's me being transparent as well. Now, will one day I get there? Maybe, I don't know, but right now, as of right today, as of this moment, right now, I don't think that that's where I want to be, and that's not something that I'm looking for, and that's not something that I'm going to invest time and energy in. That's just me. I think that if people were more honest and walking around with that literal honesty, because what you do is when you're honest, you not only protect yourself, but you protect others as well. And I think a lot of people are walking around here willy nilly, just being, you know, just being ninjas out here, just literally being ninjas and cutting people down and hurting people, and then leaving those same people that are hurt to walk out into the streets to hurt other people, because hurt people.
Right.
And you have people out here that have been hurt, have baggage, have all these other things that's going on in terms of relationships, and they're out here looking for relationships. And what do you look? Come on, guys! If it's broke and you out here trying to repair it with someone else, so it's not right and it's not fair to the other person. So I just feel as though that whole thing about, yes, definitely honesty and transparency are two things that people are not ready for, and that is going to cause a lot of problems moving forward. Because you don't have to lie about having a family. That's not the issue. Can you not lie about having anything? Just like, you know what I mean? Like a dog, a cat. Like, people will lie just because they woke up this morning. So I don't know. It's just a weird place that we are right now, you know?
I think, in my opinion, I believe, in my opinion, that we are in when it gets to the dating world, it's very who can get who first. Right? I want to get you before you get me. I think there's a lack of self-awareness out here as well. And people are very much afraid. They're afraid of getting their heart broken again. They're afraid of getting played again. And it's like, hey, I'm going to play you before you play me. Or you're not able to give yourself something, so you're looking for someone else to give it to you. Realistic stuff. You know what I mean?
That's what I said, Warrior. Go
Right.
ahead. Go ahead. That's what I said.
I think the other thing that I would say for me is a barrier in dating is the why. Why are you doing it? Why are you looking for another person? Because I'm gonna be real, being human is complicated, and now you're gonna bring two humans together. It takes work. And some people are not willing to do the work. They're just not. If you want to get anything that's not human, you invest in it, right? And you do what you have to do to continue to invest in it. And I just don't see that happening. It's more like, what can this person do for me, but I'm not going to do for that person?
Or what can this person do for me now? It's now.
Right. But there's nothing wrong with saying, what can this person do for me? There's nothing wrong with that. Because I think Tay had asked you a question earlier. Does this person bring value to your life? That's an important question. But where's the reciprocity in that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't want to work, so I'm looking for someone to take care of me. I don't want to eat at, I don't know, this restaurant, but this person got to take me to this. It's just a lot of, let me get them before I get just yeah. Some people don't even know what makes them happy, but I'm out here looking for somebody. This just doesn't make sense. And to wrap that up, I think I totally agree with what Doc said to begin with. I want to find out who I am. I need time for this, or I don't want to date, but I am legs wide open every chance I get. It really just messes things up. I've just been, it really does. I get it feels good, but it really does mess things up. So that's me. I'm abnormal. I've always told y'all that. So yeah. All right, Doc. What do you think?
Listening to this conversation, oh gosh, y'all be carrying me through when we have these kind of conversations. Um, Not in a bad way. It's an enlightening conversation. To be honest with you, but barriers. The first one that I wrote down because I had to write it so my brain wouldn't let it go. Um, is simply, uh, no pun intended, miscommunication. We
Mm-hmm.
talked about the fact of
I'm telling you.
words being used interchangeably.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just and I will also take it a step further by saying that we're looking at various generations, okay? Because
Oh
we don't
yeah.
know who the audience is that this
Right.
outreach is going to, right?
Right. Right.
So, um, so based upon that, in and of itself, being aware that dating for one person may be uh, trying to develop a relationship, a committed relationship, learning one another along with intimacy, but in actuality, depending on the lived experiences as well as the generation that they're coming from, they may not see dating in that same light. So miscommunication is a barrier. Secondly, I wrote down here to myself, use of excuses. Basically, coming in with this idea of what you want. If you come into it's just like being a parent, um, or being a new auntie, right? That baby come into this world, you don't know what in the world you doing with it, but you're gonna make it do the best that you can do with what you got.
Right.
So why are we going into relationships saying, okay, it's got to be this, and this, and this, and this?
Like ready made.
So therefore, if
Checklist.
if we come in um, with a clean slate, and I'm not saying be naive. That's not where I'm coming from because common sense needs to be common. But what I'm saying is coming into a dating relationship um, should be truly organic. Just let it happen. And if it is not vibing, then you're going to know it ain't vibing. Coach Tay said it earlier. Within a week, even if it's over the, even if it's online, if somebody, male or female or indifferent, whatever, if you're having a conversation and you're like, this ain't, it's something in my spirit, it's something ain't right here, then you know it's you need to exit, right? So, as a barrier, number two would be stop trying to create something and just let it happen organically. And if you allow it to happen organically, then you'll know, especially again at our age, you'll know if it's right or ain't, or if it's not right. If your spirit is telling you this ain't it, then or if you go into a public setting, because I'm with you, Tay. My brain be going. And something is telling me, this is he
Ain't right.
yeah, something ain't right. He
Oh,
little,
nutty.
I see some flags. Okay, then I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna be cool. But as soon as I'm able to get away from you safely on everything, you ain't got to worry. Because trust, Doc done her homework anyway. Because I done got your address, your actual name. Because I'm a private detective under the cover. You ain't got to worry about. And people gonna know who I'm with and where I am and all of that jazz. Cause I ain't nobody playing these games, have me out here in these streets looking crazy. So that would be my two barriers, sugar, for modern day dating. It's just, ooh, Jesus, y'all be taking me through.
Not taking you through.
Mm.
Mm.
So I want to say this before we exit. Everybody's dating experience is different. And definitely generational and experience, right? Some people have been really hurt. Some people have lots of experience in one area, not another. And I'm gonna keep using this word. Some people really are delusional about what makes them happy. So all of that. So everyone's experience is different. So we've been very general,
Yeah.
because again, we don't know everybody. And let's be honest, we're four women up here. I'm sure if we had men, they'd say something similar or very to the left about their experiences with the women that they interact with as well. Me personally, I've heard people say, "Oh, men only want the women that's going to treat them bad, the women that everybody else have, or blah blah." It's just everybody's experience is different, and we are literally assuming things about other people because we're really not talking to each other. We're talking at each other a lot of times. So, all that to say, be careful out there, people, and dating. It can be such a wonderful experience, but it can also be a nightmare of an experience. So, be careful while you're out there. To thine own self be true, but not at the expense of someone else. So we thank you for watching us. We thank you for the comments. Look out for more episodes from us. I know we're coming back on our weekday show with a part 2 with our men panelists. So look out for that as well. And we will be back. Is it in 2 weeks? We'll be back in 2 weeks. With some more interesting perspective. So thank you for joining us here at The Experience, where the experience is always good. Have a good one.